We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
Here they gonna get wicked. Here we go again.
Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What up? What up?
Oh man, I'm sitting here watching these people's responding to these playoffs. What's good with you though?
Oh, not much, man. Sitting up here, just chilling. Really, was up here trolling them Cowgirl fans earlier today.
Oh my gosh, listen, man.
You
know what? Let's listen. Let's get the music going, bro. Let's talk about that right now.
If you smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name is.
All time.
Yep.
Listen to Slash Brothers Podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. YouTube and Facebook. We're live on both platforms at the same time. You click the notification, get the heads up whenever your boys is doing a thing. I almost said Thug Thizzle, but I thought that most of these people
won't even know.
They won't even know the reference, though, man. I died laughing too because I think that we was talking about Thug Thizzle being so much of a, like, that would be an old term, right? I thought about something I saw Jabari Smith told LeBron the other day. He said, "Hey man, Jabari Smith, he rookie for the Rockets." He said, "Hey man, my daddy, when your first game, you played against my dad, bro." And here it is, LeBron. And then I didn't think about it. I'm like, well, LeBron played also against Kenyon Martin as well, though, man. So then now he's played against Kenyon Martin Jr., though, bro. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Thug Thizzle. LeBron would know.
Yeah, man. So back to what we was talking about. Was out here trolling these Cowgirl fans because, of course, they won. And bro, you would have thought the Cowboys just returned from the White House after winning the Super Bowl, bro. The way these listen, Travis had a dissertation. My homeboy Ed had a dissertation. I was like, bruh, y'all won one game and y'all boys is really acting like, and then don't put nothing on Facebook. Then all you haters been waiting. And I was like, I want y'all to keep that same energy when y'all lose.
It's coming. It's coming. And listen, this is the reason why. This is the reason why. I don't know what it is about them, right? To where they believe every year is our year. And it's not even realistic. Like, here's my thing. And I'll take this because you got your OKC gear on, right? You're realistic in thinking like we're rebuilding. We got a young squad. We got a lot of potential, but it's a young squad. And you would think, oh, if we made it to the playoffs, that would be a bonus. That would supersede, that would far exceed your expectations for such a young team, even though they got Shea, right? I think that's tapering expectations based off of your roster, based off of what you know to be true about, what other teams look like, the process, right, of building. So I think that what's crazy to me is that every year they seem like Jerry Jones will get out there and give his State of the Union speech to the Cowboy Nation before the season. And Jerry Jones will say, this is the one of the most talented rosters we've ever put together. And they run with it. And they basically say, it's almost like Jerry said, we got that roster again. We out of here. Let's plan our Super Bowl plans. Let's do this, that, and the other day are out of it. And that's, I don't feel bad for them because they fall for it every year. But I think that's it's one of those things that comes with when you honestly, with your heart, believes that this is our year. When history has repeatedly said it's not, right? It's like they see everything like people were saying, oh, they'll go to Dak. Oh man, we need to go ahead and get rid of Dak, right? Dak threw the touchdowns, and they're like, oh yeah, this is what I've been saying the whole time. If Dak gonna play like this, we this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking like, this man has led the league in interceptions this year, and he's
in the last 5 games he threw 11.
Yes, and I'm thinking like, if anything, right? So when Stephen A. Smith always says that the Cowboy fans are delusional, it's because they see the glass half full, but they're always basing their fanhood off of if Dak plays his absolute best game for 5 straight games, they'll win. But you can say that with any team, right? Like listen, the Bears are rebuilding still, right? But you can still say, oh yeah,
if we had an O-line,
we had an O-line, they would be something. If you give him the wide receivers, if you give him a running back, I mean, if you don't trade Roquan Smith, if you load it, if you build a team in a perfect scenario, yeah, every team would though, bro. Like, I look at like the Saints. The Saints are, to me, are a good quarterback. I mean, a competent quarterback away from. I think that we're a playoff team, right? You put Lamar Jackson on our team, which I got to ask you about, by the way.
Yeah.
You put Tom Brady if he's available. I think you put Aaron Rodgers if he's really leaving. I think you put one of those guys on our roster, and I believe that we go to the playoffs, and I think that we can make a run for it. But that's if. But we don't. We didn't. We had Jameis Winston. We had the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and I knew that wasn't enough. But you put Jameis Winston on these Cowboy teams, and you say that he's gonna be your starter. They're gonna talk about what he was a Heisman winner. He won the Heisman for a reason. He this, that, and the other, and they're gonna believe that they're gonna win the Super Bowl with Jameis Winston, despite the fact that he had 30-something turnovers in the same year that he had 5,000 passing yards. That's just it's
and they be talking about how he likes seafood. So yeah.
He gonna be all up there at the Juicy Crab out there in
gonna be at Papados on the whole time.
Oh my god. This man is gonna have an NIL deal with Papados, bro. Like, listen, bro. I just think that it's just and when I look at that, and this is the thing, I just it's hard because you having conversations with people about sports, and a lot of times, though, man, when it's hard to have a conversation with somebody about sports when what they're basing it off of is all heart, like it's not based off of logic. It's based off of fandom, right? Like I'm so in this manic stage of behind my team that I can't even think realistically about my team, though, bro. So it's tough. I thought, bro, listen, I knew that can't nobody tell you nothing bad about Russ. I don't think you got nothing compared to them, though, bro. Nothing.
No, I don't. And yeah, Cowboy fans are the worst, bro. I don't know any other fandom that's worse than the Cowboys, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If we're talking about it, 49ers, they right behind them. And I didn't realize that, man, until probably over the last couple of years, because I've been trying. I said for the last couple of years, you know what? I'm out of it. I ain't posting about nobody else's team, right? Um, don't listen. If you tag me in something that's different, then I'm clapping back. But I
Yeah.
don't want to be involved with nobody else's team. So for the most part, man, for this year and the past, I would say, man, maybe last 3 years, though, bro, I've stayed out of it when it came to other people teams, though, bro. But what I've noticed though, man, is that these 49er fans, though, man, they come across like, bro, let's not forget. You know what I'm saying? I know that Cap got y'all to the Super Bowl. I know that Jimmy G got y'all to the Super Bowl. But stop acting like y'all won something. I know that we joke about the Cowboys not having won a Super Bowl since gas was 99 cents. The 49ers are right there with them. The 49ers haven't won. Listen, the 49ers haven't won a Super Bowl since Jerry Rice was still playing. Jerry Rice been retired for at least 15 years, I would imagine. Jerry Rice has been retired so long that Jerry Rice's son plays for Michigan State. He got to be 20. So when I'm looking at that, now I see a lot of 49er fans like y'all are good. But I just thought that having seen other Cowboy fans, y'all probably should be a little bit more humble, bro. Like,
So what you're saying is we about to see a whole bunch of crying come next week.
oh my gosh, it is gonna be some crying. Listen, somebody is gonna be crying like a hoe in church on Sunday, bro. Like my mama used to say.
It's both of them, because whoever win gonna be talking about how they going to the championship.
Oh yeah. Like that. Like I'm talking about. Like listen. There's only a subtle difference, a very subtle difference between and 49er fans that I've seen swear they're not like Cowboy fans, but they just don't know it. They just don't know that they're very similar to them. Like they just have this sense of not entitlement, bro, but it's just like, bro, like don't like before Cap. Let's just not act like y'all didn't go this long period in between. What's the dude Garcia, and y'all felt like y'all had them years when y'all had Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey now calls the plays for the Bills. That tells you how long it's been since they're hit or miss. And when I look at it, like you think about it, they had they'll always have a 4-year run, and then they're rebuilding right after that also. Like, stop acting like y'all didn't also have Alex Smith for them years and y'all didn't do nothing with that. Like, come on, bro. Like, the 49er fans look real Dallas Cowboys, though, man. So I think that, yeah, this weekend, somebody's butt going to be sore and somebody's going to be screaming, this is our year again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they say the same thing. They starting to look a lot alike. And I think that Niner fans don't realize it, though, bro. Y'all look like the Cowboy fans of the West.
Yeah, so what's up with Lamar Jackson, bro?
Oh my gosh! I think Lamar's out of there, bro.
You think so?
I think he out of there, man. I think that this is the way I look at it, bro. So I think that Lamar is out of there because it's one thing that you not play, right? But I think that it's another thing that you don't go to the game, right? So you're the leader of the team that everybody, and this is the one thing I can say though, bro, because I follow Lamar on IG and Twitter. He's one of the few people who I follow, and when I do look at Twitter, I'm looking at what he says and everything. So I feel like everybody in that locker room, hands down, believe Lamar is their leader. And so I think that everybody out on their team has to also feel like the Ravens aren't doing the right thing by Lamar, right? And when I say that, I'm saying that the Cardinals didn't let Kyler Murray get to year 5, right? To year 4, because they saw enough to feel confident, right? And what he said. And Kyler, as much as I like Kyler, he's not nearly as accomplished as Lamar, right? Matt Stafford, he got a longevity pay, right? He got a boatload of money and he won a Super Bowl. But I think that a lot of his extension was based around that and longevity. He put in the work and everything. But I mean, when you look at somebody, even Deshaun Watson, right? He got that money, and I think that he finessed them, put them in this position. I get it, But I'm thinking that they're looking at him, and I don't think that for some reason they are all the way sold. And he's like, wait a minute. So from what I saw, man, they were trying to offer Lamar somewhere around the average of 30 something million, 33, 36 million a year. When if you put the franchise tag on him, that's like $45 million a year, right? So they're not even trying to pay him the going rate of the top five. And so it's like, if that's the case, though, if you Lamar, you not playing is one thing, right? You saying, all right, listen, I'm not gonna put myself in any further danger. I'm not gonna put any more tape of me on out there playing bad because of my injury, not without a long-term contract, right? And then you did not go to the game whatsoever, though, bro. To me, that tells me that him not going to the game was his putting the line in the sand and saying, that's it, that's where I stand. And the fact that they lost, it was almost like you can clearly tell, I think anyway, if you tell me that exactly how the Bengals played, if Lamar was playing in that game, I think that I wasn't that impressed with the Bengals beating the Ravens. I thought that if they had Lamar, they would have beat them. I thought they would have been by maybe 2 touchdowns, though, bro. But I think that Lamar is gone, though, bro. I think he's out of there.
I can't disagree with you. I mean, especially they ain't trying to pay him, and he's been asking for 2 years, maybe more. So
if you're not gonna pay him, right? Then what? So you franchise tag him, right? And this never happens where quarterbacks don't get franchise tagged. So you franchise tag him. He now holds out in practice. Now you just risk further dissension on the team. Like, if you knew, like, what changed your mind from last year when you didn't pay him to this year? And that's why I think that from the Ravens' perspective, they're like, well, listen, man, they're probably thinking like, oh, okay, well, Lamar hasn't finished the season the last 2 years. And it's like, all right, well, yeah, but I'm putting my body on the line for y'all. It ain't like I'm just like casually deciding not to play. So I think that he gone, though, bro. And then here's the thing. They talk about teams that are suitors for Lamar. And they always bring up the Jets because, their second-year quarterback has been pretty bad, bro. He's been trash. He's been not at all. People were talking like he was going to be like the next big thing, though, bro. And he has been like not nearly what they advertised. And then they also say that the Dolphins, of course, because Tua's health and Lamar Jackson's from the Miami area. I'm throwing the Saints out there, bro. If he's available, you got to go get him, man. If there's any talk of him possibly getting let go, like he was about to go out to Deshaun Watson, you better go out to Lamar, bro.
I'm sure Washington will throw their hat in the ring.
Got to. Listen, man. Listen. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this. I think, bro, that I with all due respect to Lamar playing in Baltimore, I think that Lamar Jackson playing for the Saints would be like the Michael Vick experience in Atlanta. And I only say that because I'm seeing that you put a black quarterback in a predominantly black city. I think that's why I think the Michael Vick experience worked and was so electrifying. Here, where I don't know that it would be the only other place I can think of, maybe Dallas, where I'm saying, like, just the cowboy fanatics or whatever would put what he did on this superhuman level. But I think that, bro, there are certain cities, though, man, that are predominantly black cities. I think that certain players there would work, and I think that Lamar Jackson being out in the Saints, I think, boy. Well, whatever you was willing to give up for Deshaun, you got to get the same thing up for Lamar.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Anybody else impressing you in the playoff picture?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, this season, and this is weird because this season was a lot different from other seasons. I thought that my team was out of the hunt from after game 3. I said, oh yeah, we did, because I was like, Andy Dalton, I've never been the biggest fan about with Andy Dalton, and I've never been the biggest Jameis Winston fan. So I've been watching other teams, right? Watching everybody else. And it gave me the opportunity to just appreciate different players a little bit more. But I'm going to be honest with you, though, man. I think that the more I've watched, and this is gonna be the most obvious, I think that I've been more impressed with this season with Pat Mahomes. I know that he's
I
been
was just
dope and
about to say
everything
the
like
Chiefs,
that.
bro.
Yeah, that guy. I've been more now. Here's where I think that the Chiefs. I'm always going to be questionable about their defense, right? But I think that at the end of the day, I've been more and Pat Mahomes, he's MVP. I think he's going to get MVP again this year. But I think that he's been the only person that I've been impressed with all season long. Now he's had some games where he's thrown some timely, untimely interceptions or whatnot, though, man. But
Yeah.
I think that so far I've been impressed with him. But the other thing is that I've been really impressed with the skill position players, especially offensively. So, like, I've been impressed with Jamar Chase for the Bengals. I've been
Yeah.
impressed with T. Higgins for the Bengals. I was impressed with um the Dolphins wide receiving core, but I mean, like, a lot of the skill position players showed up. Even Gino had two wide receivers that went for 1,000 yards this year, though,
Yeah.
man. So yeah. What about you?
No, it's the Chiefs. I think they clearly, to me, just stand out a little bit above the teams right now. And if they just continue to play well and remain healthy, then I think they have a really clear chance to win it again.
You know what? And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The only team that I 49er fans, golly, I think the 49ers can beat the Chiefs, though.
Okay.
And here's why I think that. I'm gonna be completely honest. I never heard of Brock Purdy, even though he played in the Big 12, right? Okay, so this is just my opinion, bro. And this is just, again, from just being on the sidelines, from watching some from my team haven't been competitive enough on the offense to be real hunters.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen Brock Purdy play now 4 times, and I think that he's better than Jimmy G, bro. And I'm not necessarily saying, I say that from the standpoint of when I watch him play, he looks way more comfortable, right?
Yeah.
He looks like he's empowered to take risk. And I think that even though Jimmy G may not have, he just don't. Like, I think that he plays it safe. And even when he plays it safe, he's not even all that great at just safe football. And so from that, though, man, I think that Brock Purdy's there. And listen, and if I'm keeping it tall in a vacuum in those games, I thought Brock Purdy looked better than Dak Prescott. Like, he looks like you would never even know that this was his first time starting. He looks like he's supposed to be there, though, bro.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah, so I don't know. But they're the only team that I think, and the only reason why I think that they could get with them is that this is where, if the Chiefs wins the Super Bowl, that makes it even more impressive that they'll do it without Tyreek, because I think that Tyreek being out there to take that top off your defense keeps everybody honest and everything underneath. I think if Tyreek was there, I think they would very easily win it. But the fact that they're even here where they are, and the fact that they still are the favorite to get to the Super Bowl, and to me, to win it, I think that just shows how brilliant Pat Mahomes has been playing. And all that.
Yeah. So, bro, my Thunder Boys been balling, bro, and they've been beating some teams, man.
Lou Dort.
To be honest, you know who's really been stepping up? It hasn't even been Lou Dort. It's been doggone Josh Giddey, bro. Giddey has been going to the rack on people, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and he is not afraid to speak his mind. I respect it. Like, you know, for him to be 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
He is definitely has stepped his game up. He's definitely worked on his shooting. His shooting has improved, because that was one of the big things when we first drafted him, that people were like, you know, he's just like a Ricky Rubio. Like, he's creative on passes and, you know, traditional type point guard. But now that he's added more shooting to his game, the Thunder hired a shooting coach, and a lot of our players have been improving on shots. Because I mean, there's some times when them shots is raining all over the place, threes from everywhere, bro.
They didn't beat the brakes off a few teams, bro. They beat the brakes off of They
Beat
beat the
Brooklyn.
Sixers.
Yep.
They beat the Sixers. I thought in Philly, beat them
They did.
down.
They did because when I sang the anthem for New Year's Eve, we played Philly. And Philly, I left at the third quarter, bruh, because it
Oh
was
my god!
we was getting. I'm talking drug by the and that was without Harden, right? And then like you said, we come back in Philly, and then that boy Shea put the brakes on Harden, had that boy sliding, bro. I'm surprised they ain't did the video yet where that boy Harden was sliding all through the world.
Hey, I'm not gonna even lie. James Harden is getting back everything that he dished out all those years in Houston when he was out there doing his thing, and I think everybody goes at him. I think but let me tell you this. This is the one thing I think. I the thing that I think that's been the most exciting thing because I don't get to catch very many Thunder games out here unless they're on TNT and they're nationally
And that's
broadcast
that's
games.
only
I don't.
one game. That was only
It's
one
like
game.
one game so far, right? So I'm gonna be honest. This season for me in the NBA, this is gonna sound crazy. I think this season is trash, bro. I think this season is like, listen, it's trash. And I'm gonna tell you this: the only thing that I look forward to, right, it is so I like to see Bucks game. This is gonna sound crazy. I like to see the Bucks play because I like watching Giannis play. And I like watching Memphis play because I like watching Ja play. Now, here's why I say it's trash, right? I think that it says something to me, bro, right? That a team can score 150 points, like how OKC
Boston
waxed Boston.
without Shea.
Boston had without Shea, and they had all their guys. Boston, it wasn't like Boston was missing anybody. And when they waxed the Nets had everybody, right?
No,
And
they
this,
didn't.
who did the Nets not have?
They didn't have KD and they didn't have Ben Simmons.
Okay, what's evil? Okay, so Ben Simmons ain't gonna make that much of a
Well, I
difference.
mean, I was gonna say that, but I mean,
Yeah,
I'm just answering your question
but
though.
here's where I'm going with that though, bro. So we were talking about this before, like on the last part, we were starting to get into it, but we dive deep into it. I think that this now, bro, like I think that the officiating of the rules is so bad, bro, that I just think that now the offensive player has such an advantage that the defensive players don't have any incentive to actually play tough because it's like if you try to lock somebody down, right? The referee's like, whoa, you're playing too tight. Boom, let me give you a foul. So everything is a foul. And then on top of that, you're not calling only thing they're not doing out there is double dribbling, right? But I mean, you might as well. The dribbles are loose. Like if you look, like I could understand you bouncing the ball, you taking a couple steps, bouncing the ball, taking. But if you watch how much of the bounce and the ball goes under the hand, and then to go like it's like, and how can you go around that? So with that being said, though, bro, it's like teams do shoot better now. Now you got more skilled shooters. But if you're saying that, okay, well, I can't guard you tight, so I'm going to give you the shot, but also you can't get around me with the carry, it's like, okay, let me ask you this. Who would you name? Who would you name? Name the five top defensive players in the league. If you set aside Rudy Gobert and Marcus Smart, name five others. Great defenders.
Well, see, that's unfair because I don't really watch any games outside. Like I watched a couple of Laker games or whatever, but I generally stick to Thunder games.
Okay,
And and
they
so
play. Well, they play. They play. So okay. So with that being said, of the teams that they've played, right, the
mhm,
teams that Oklahoma's played, who has OKC played where you said, "Oh, that dude's a great defender"? Royce. They played the Nets and they
yeah,
got waxed.
But Royce didn't even play that well of defense because I
Okay,
mean the thing that what but this is the thing though. So the Thunder as a whole, they play decent defense. Like they move around pretty well, and then you know, but I don't know. I can't say an individual person. I'm gonna put it to you like that.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't even name. I could only name. I can only name one guard in the entire West that I would say two that are locked down defenders, right? The lockdown is what's my guy for the Suns with the real long arm? I think it's Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, him, Herb Jones, also for the Pelicans,
Mm-hmm.
and then Jaren Jackson is also for he blocks everything, but because he blocks everything, he gets called for a
Now,
lot of fouls.
now Claxton was blocking a lot of shots during the Thunder
Okay.
game.
But think about that. That's but yeah, I can give him that. But he's just on the East. I'm just saying when you talk about in the entirety of the league, there's only to me like I don't even it should be real easy to put together the all defensive team because it's a premium now to be able to play good defense and still contribute to the offense because even now like you would think usually Paul George, you put Paul George on anybody he locked down. Well, Paul George doesn't even play enough games now to lock anybody down. And then not just that, with Kawhi out, he hasn't showed us so much of the league, I mean, of the scoring that he's not even do that. So it's like, so when I'm looking at this, I'm saying like last night, Jason Tatum scores 51. The other
Mhm.
night before that, somebody else scored 50. Like 50-point games,
But
there
they
used to
was
be like
they,
3 or 4 of those a year. Now people are doing those every week.
but I will say the Hornets were trying to defend him though. They just couldn't.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
had them flying all over the place, bro.
yeah. But then that goes back to my point though, right? You can try, but you don't got nobody who locked down. Like you don't got nobody who can. You don't got nobody who
No,
can
but I'm
play
just
with the
saying
same.
I get that. I'm just saying they weren't just leaving him wide open and he was out there. Like he did have people defending him. It's just that night there was nobody stopping him. Like
That
the
I totally get it.
yeah,
Mason Plumlee, listen, Mason Plumlee is the only person who I can think of on the Hornets that play defense, and he gets dunked on every other day. Now I've seen him dunk on somebody a few
mhm.
times, but he gets dunked on all the time. And listen, I think that this is my point. Like centers don't get dunked on as frequently as they should. Like if you're a center, right? And you're playing defense, you usually play center because you're a shot blocker, right? And so it's like you that means that for all the time you try to get blocked, somebody's gonna body you, right? And it should be like what's the dude the fro for
I know you're talking
Cleveland?
about from Cleveland.
Yeah, he gets
Yeah.
dunked on a lot, right? Jared Allen, he gets dunked on a lot, but he dunks on a lot of people as well. He catches a lot of bodies. And now it's like only two centers ever get dunked on, Allen and Plumlee, bro. It's like that. So when I'm looking at this season, when I say it's trash, I'm saying like I'm not even impressed with the 40 points. Like I am impressed that Donovan Mitchell scored 70 some points, right? But then when you look at that, nobody fouled out guarding him. Nobody when Jason Tatum scored 50 some points, nobody on the team had 5 fouls when he did it. So it's like y'all not yeah, you're giving some effort, but you ain't trying like that. So it's hard for me. And listen, I don't think I'm a basketball purist, but I do appreciate the little things about basketball, bro. It's to me, it's what makes basketball such a great thing that like these little like a solid pick, right? Switching on defense, guarding somebody all the way through their layup. Like if somebody's gonna score on you though, bro, like let it be that they got to the bucket and got chest to chest with you at some point though. But now it's like people just guard you for one move and then they let you buy if you got that one move though, man. So it's weird, bro. And then when I look at it as well, though, man, to be honest with you, even when I'm watching all these younger players play, the young players, you could tell, like, golly, man, they're ultra talented, though, bro. But it just feels like some of these guys are so young that it's gonna be another 4 years before they figure out how to be that good and win because a lot of these guys are so young that they've never won anything. Like I would imagine that there are very few of these guys who were drafted in the top 10 of the NBA or some of these guys who are 1 year, one and done's, whatever. I would be curious to know how many of them won the state championship for their teams, right? I don't think it's very many of them though, bro. And I think that these guys are good. I just don't think they know how to win like the Rockets. Like the Rockets got all these, they look like they playing AAU ball, bro. And they got a bunch of good talent, but I don't think that they don't know how to win games yet, though, bro. And that's why I said the season's trash. It's hard to watch the NBA, though, man. It hurts my heart to say that, though. But it's
and I'm enjoying myself. This is probably the most basketball like. Anytime I know the Thunder's on, I'm watching them, bro. And I just love the growth that I've saw all season and the evolution of players. Because I remember at one time Poku was on my list of people that should go, right? This year, he's one of my favorite players, bro. And I'm sad that he's out hurt right now. You know what I'm saying? And, just other players that have stepped up. What I love about the Thunder is they do an organic load management, but not in the sense like how you saw Pop do it or how you saw the Thunder are still going to put their big three out there. You're going to see Lou Dort every game. You're going to see Shea every game. You're going to see Josh Giddey every game unless one of them are hurt. But at the same time, what Mark Daigneault does a fantastic job of is he scouts the team and that changes up his starting lineup. So every single game you might see a different lineup, but the way the Thunder organization has built them is like, nah, it's legit next man up to where it's like, look, you're here. Like my boy Baisley, he ain't played for a minute and now he's just back in the rotation. So
yeah,
and
I think that to me,
and I think it's dope.
I think that to me, what that does, man, is it gives you an opportunity to see all these young guys that you drafted. You get them minutes, so you don't be like the Hawks, where you got John Collins on your team, and you sit here and you never wanted to extend him after his 4 years on his rookie contract, but you extend him anyway. And ever since you extended, you've been still trying to trade him, like stuff like that. Like that, it's just weird, bro. Like stuff that makes me mad about the NBA is like what's the dude who Bohan who plays for the Pistons, right? And Bohan played before that he played for the Jazz. So he signs this little pretty big contract for him with the Jazz, right? I mean, with the Pistons. And I don't think he just said, let me get the bag, right? Because who the hell signs with the Pistons? Don't nobody want to go to the Pistons. They've been rebuilding since Chauncey Billups left.
Yeah.
And so it's like when I'm looking at that, you got this dude out here and everybody, and they're saying, yeah, we want a first round draft pick for what? And I'm looking at just all like I'm looking at like the Toronto Raptors, for example. They got like 5 guys on their team that's averaging 15 points a game. 5 guys, bro. And I think they may have another one that's like a 6th guy that's averaging like a couple guys that are averaging 10 points. But they still don't convert those into wins. Like it's just this season has been like a weird season to me. Like I haven't been that impressed. But I'll tell you that I've never not watched a Memphis game and not came back like impressed. Even though I've seen them play several times now. Like Ja does something. Like he is, to me, is one of the few players that I would say I would pay good money to watch Ja Morant play because I think he's gonna do something great.
100%. I get that. And I will say, like for the Thunder though, theirs has translated into wins. Like I said, when Shea can sit down and the team still pull off the win, but not just that, but score the most points in Thunder history, like that says something. Or even I was watching the Brooklyn game and it was like every Thunder player has scored. That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? That means everybody in there contributes at some point. You know what I'm saying?
They still got Derek Favors on the roster.
Who? The Thunder? Nah.
He's on the roster.
Who? No, Derek Favors gone, bro.
Okay. Yeah, get that boy out of here, man. But anywho, haven't been that. Yeah. Listen, man. I look at that, man. Like I just haven't been that impressed. And here's the thing: who I want to watch play, I want to dial into watching the Kings and Portland play because I don't get a chance to because their games are West Coast, so I don't get a chance to if they're playing against the Lakers, they play all the Lakers game on TNT, so I try to stay up, try to watch them. But but I haven't really seen those. And I do know that the Kings are, up there now. They're like the number 5 and fifth place or something like that, though. So I haven't really seen them play. But other than that, though, man, I haven't been that impressed by anything this season. The Hawks have been terrible. The Hornets have been terrible. Orlando's still rebuilding since Tracy McGrady and Dwight Howard and them left. They still terrible. Miami doesn't look that good. Brooklyn had their winning streak, but now KD's not there.
Right.
Even the Chris Middleton is still getting into the rhythm. I said Toronto doesn't look that great. Like I have no idea who would win it. I think that like the best team I've watched with my own eyes have been the Memphis Grizzlies. So maybe Memphis versus the Bucks or Boston. That would be the only 3 teams that I've seen. Like, all right.
Yeah. Who has been balling for Miami though? Who's starting to like get back into that? He won't make the All-Star team this year, but who's definitely getting back in that conversation is Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
His name has been coming up a lot.
Yeah.
Even more than Jimmy Butler, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. I've been seeing him ball out, but just collectively, just haven't been that impressed. Zion is hurt again. It's just like, come on, bro.
Question for you, bro. Did you see that picture Paula put out, Bubba?
Oh yeah, he did. I saw you. I did. I saw your comment on that. Said, "Boy, you like Jock Vaughn out there." Thought the exact same thing. He did look just like him, though,
he couldn't
bro.
even do nothing but laugh, bro. He couldn't.
Yeah.
He ain't even had no comeback. Like I was him and what's his name be going back and forth. He just ate that one.
Hey, let me switch. Let me switch. In the interest of time, I wanted to get your opinion about some stuff that I've seen lately musically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so since it's been a little while since we've talked about Kanye, and I think that somebody was basically saying Kanye had went missing. His old manager or something like that said Kanye then went missing, and I think that it was because his old manager said he owed him some money or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, which is crazy because if a billion, if I don't know if he's worth $1 billion, but if somebody's 100,000 there. If he owed 100 million there and he owes you money, you talk about some thousands. I don't think they're running from paying you, $100,000, right? I like to think that that's just a pocket change kind of thing. But they said Kanye was missing, but then since then, randomly news says Kanye and got married. What are we doing about that?
Bro, it's the same type. Okay, so there's no paperwork for the marriage. It's the same way as how his school was accredited. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Kanye does these things where, he might have had somebody perform a ceremony, but it's not legal. Like it's just wordplay. And the person who he supposedly married is attached to Yeezys. Like she was one of the designers or something, something to that degree. To me, it just sounds like a business ploy so that when he goes and, like if he's married to one of the designers, then she can help design, a new shoe when he goes to the next place. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it, like I said, it's just like we haven't heard from him much. This is just a way to get him back in the conversation, but no, it's not a legit marriage, and yeah, he ain't really married.
But why though? Like this is my thing. Like when you want to be on Kanye's side, he does something like this though, bro. Like
but the problem is, I don't even know that Kanye leaked that or released that. You know what I'm saying?
How would somebody else know that?
So okay, unless it's the paparazzi ploy that they say that the Kardashians do, where they like set the where they'll be like, hey, we're gonna be here, so y'all might want to be in this spot. You know what I'm saying? But to me though, until the manager said anything about it, nobody was really checking for Kanye. So he had a space to kind of be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where the information pops up at. It wasn't like I just don't see anybody seeking to get it, but just like, because what it was like, oh, we saw him with a woman, right? And they didn't know who the woman was at first.
Listen, bro, I want to be. Listen, I be wanted to. I want that even when I'm saying I'm done with Kanye, part of me just still thinks of the old Kanye, which I know that he is so far removed from, right?
Yeah.
And listen, and I hate to even go there because you think about that though, right? Okay, you think about that. When people say the old Kanye, right? What do they mean? I
College
think they
dropout.
mean the college dropout Kanye, the graduation guy, the Kanye. I think that they're talking about the Kanye from like 808 and Heartbreaks and before, right? That was like 2008. So you talking about 15 years ago. The people are still wanting the you from 15 years ago. Like now, here's what I'm wondering. If somebody said, dang, Ace, I want the Ace from 2008. Right? Would they be wrong? Like what Ace would they be getting for you from
They talking about
2008?
the breakup. They talking about the breakup Ace, and that Ace can't come back.
That's
Yeah, I
so
couldn't.
so you feel me? So when people say they want that they miss the old Kanye, it's like you mean the Kanye from 15 years
They want
ago?
the Kanye that was still in the box. That's what they want. They want the Kanye that was still with Jay-Z. That's what they want.
I think so too, man. Like I'm not gonna lie. I think if you want to go, if you say the Kanye, I'm not gonna lie. The last Kanye I really liked was from Watch the Thrones. That was it. The Watch the Throne Kanye, and then that was about it. Musically, I think that was the last thing that he did that I was like really checking for though, man.
Yeah, I
But even
still see people ain't slowing down on wearing them shoes though.
no,
It's at an all-time high, bro.
all time high, boy. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, my boy. Still ain't. Still ain't. But I think it's crazy though, man. Let me ask you this though. So this is
Yeah.
one of the things that I think I don't know where this falls. Two things here. So Lil Boosie has always been very vocal about things like this when it comes to the gay community, specifically Dwayne Wade,
Mhm.
Gabrielle Union, and their Zaya, and he's always had some real spicy things. That's kind of that he said about that whole community, though, bro. The other day, though, bro, apparently Boosie's daughter steps out with a girlfriend, though, bro, and everybody's saying, "Yo, this is his karma, right?" From all that talking spicy about that community, though, bro.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I don't know if it's karma. Isn't it ironic, though, bro?
It's ironic, but the thing is once your kids are grown, you don't get to they're grown. They're gonna
Yeah.
make their own decisions. And especially when you're a celebrity, she probably has money already. And it's just like, look, that definitely gives you the green. You think about it, right? Just take the sexuality out of it. Let's go to like Tip and Tiny, right? And talking about Major and
Mhm.
the stuff that this kind of trouble he getting into. Tip is not agreeing with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But what can you do when somebody's grown? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I don't necessarily think that it's karma. I just think that, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but that's what she's choosing to do, and he doesn't get to make any decisions about it as much, however vocal he wants to be about it. So
I would just be curious if he's going to approach this with the same energy that he typically would approach everybody else's. When he had all the things to say about Lil Nas X, when
mhm.
he had all this other stuff, like, do you got that same smoke? Like, come with that energy, though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah.
am curious to see, though.
Same.
Yeah.
But you brought
So,
up Gabrielle Union though, bro, and the boy Fifth had something to say about that. So apparently she said that in her first marriage she did cheat because she was the breadwinner. And she said that, hey, I'm in this tax bracket or whatever, and yeah, I cheated. And so 50 was like, I'm not saying anything about Gabrielle Union, but the act of what she's doing, that's some hoe stuff. So
okay.
what you think about that?
Okay. It is. When you describe it, right? Well, put it like this. If you describe it, if you say, I
Hold on,
made
bro.
more money,
Is Landon TikToking in the background, bro?
Landon, I don't know if he's TikToking, but he does TikTok movements,
Oh yeah, because
but
he
he's
looked like
not.
he was out there doing that John Morant, bro.
Yeah, he'll listen. Listen, bro. Landon will gritty randomly. Fix some cereal, he gonna gritty.
Yeah,
Warm him up some oatmeal, he gonna gritty. That's his. I don't know. He used to be able to dance, bro, when he
yeah.
was about 8, and then he got too cool for school, and now all he does is gritty and some other
Well, see,
stuff,
the
man.
girls, Layla and Carly will set their phone up anywhere, bro. I'm
Oh man.
nervous because I'm hoping like at a funeral they gonna pull their phone out and start TikToking, bro.
I
'Cause
went
they
to the movies. Yeah, I went to the movies yesterday, man, to see House Party, and I saw some girls who was had their phone set up to do a little TikTok dance, and I was trying to respect their space. Cause I didn't walk past them or nothing like that. But go ahead and do y'all little thing, though, bro.
yeah,
Oh
but
man.
okay, yeah. So Gabrielle Union,
But yeah, so listen though, man. I think that listen, I when you take the name off of it, you're
mhm,
basically saying you don't make as much money as I make, so I feel like that empowers me to cheat because I did. So okay, so when you do that, so let's just say if you flip the roles, right? You got a
right,
man, and the man says, "Hey, you know what? I'm the breadwinner." And not just the breadwinner, I make significantly more than you do. So that allows me, that affords me, that empowers me to be able to cheat every once in a while if I want to.
right.
You say that is that a fairness thing? No, right? But you would talk down on the dude. People would say, females would say, "Oh, that's all kind of foul. That's this, that, and the other." I saw that come on out when she said that, but I didn't see the backlash from females that were downing her. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like they were like saying, "Well, get your money up if you don't want it to happen like that." So my question for
Well,
you though
because
is
probably
this
a lot of females would be thinking like, well, dudes do it all the time. So kudos to
see
her for stepping up.
so here's what I'm wondering though. In regular people life, right?
Hmm.
In regular people life, do you think this happens as much in women where women say, "Hey, because I make more money than you, I'm gonna go ahead and slide."
No, because how often does that really happen? I'm not saying that it doesn't, but we don't hear about it like that. You know what
It
I'm
happens
saying?
in all the Tyler Perry movies.
But again, that ain't regular people, and that's a story, fictional story. So
Yeah,
again,
in regular life, I just wonder how often do you see a woman say, "You know what, man? I'm the breadwinner, right?" When someone says I'm the breadwinner, right? To me, I think breadwinner. I think how much is breadwinner? How much of a difference do you think? I would say in regular people life, if you make 50 G's more, that's breadwinner to me.
that's
So
what I
you
mean.
can't
That was my number right off the bat.
50,000 more means you the breadwinner. You can't say you make more money, right? If you make 15,000 more, 20,000 more. But even still, though, man, somebody can survive and be just fine without your 20,000 more. That's what I guess when I look at that. But 50,000 is it. But I'm saying you get a chick who's making $50,000 more than her husband. And let's just say if that make that affords her $100,000 and her husband makes $50,000, right? Does that feel like, oh well, all I do is work with people who are 100,000 right? So I need to slide with people who make more money, right? Is that how that works? Because I'm sure she didn't mess around with guys who made less than her husband or her. Because I saw that Faison Love, Big Faison said that he used to mess with Gabrielle Union back in the day.
Mm.
So I'm saying, like, is it,
I mean, my thing is I don't know the whole context of the conversation. I just think she was telling her truth. And 50, they asked him the question, so he just commented on it like 50 would, and I think that's it.
I don't feel bad. I don't feel nearly as bad in hindsight now when Dwayne Wade when they broke up and he had the little baby on the side in between the breakups. Now that's karma to me. That's karma for doing that to that. That's karma for stepping out on that man because he wasn't the breadwinner. That in between y'all breakup, he gets somebody else. That's why I would like to think, bro, that some of that had to be there while she said, "I'm gonna go ahead and continue then this relationship," right? Because you should know when people are like, "Oh, girl, I would have did this, that, the other." She had to have known. Listen, my past ain't that spotless, though, bro.
Right, right, right.
Let me
I
ask you
mean, they
one other
seem
thing, bro.
they seem happy now, so I mean, it is what it
They
is.
seem very happy now.
Yeah,
They seem very Boosie always got something to say. He was like, people don't look at y'all like a power couple. People don't look at y'all like that. I personally like seeing them together though. So
100%. I'm trying to think if there was something else that you wanted to talk about. We be
no,
sitting.
we gonna talk about the other ones because I think for the other ones we gotta have some women online for
Okay.
some of these other conversations. But I do got one conversation that you not necessarily co-signed, but you were saying something that I think was sounding very similar. So oddly enough, I saw Funk Master Flex say something about Takashi 69, and apparently, there are some people who just refuse to play Takashi's music, DJs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to be quite honest with you though, bro. I've never heard any of Takashi's music. I don't know any of his songs. I'm not familiar with any of his stuff. I know about his antics and everything like that, so I'm familiar with him. But his music, I don't know a whole lot about. But apparently, and so they don't play his music, not on radio. Maybe if you listen to XM and Sirius and everything, I still listen to local radio, right? So he said, all right, well, with all of these rappers these days cooperating with indictments and charges and
Ricos.
everything
Yeah.
like that, Ricos like Gunna, he was like, hey, if that's a trend of cooperating, right? Should we lift this ban on playing 6ix9ine's music? Because I know that Funk Master Flex specifically said, hey, you know what? I'm not playing this music because he's a rat, basically, though. So he personally said, all right, I'm cool. Well, if you're cooperating with law enforcement, you know what I'm saying? What we doing?
I mean, I think you either got to keep that same energy or you got to lift the ban. Because the thing is, like I said, you can say what you want. The tape of what he was saying yes and no to, even though he wasn't the one like saying names and like whatever, it was the implications. And again, the problem is we don't have what Jeffrey thinks about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. And so, because what if that was what he was like, no, bro, hey, one of us got to get out of here, right? I don't know. I don't know what the conversations were, but just my thing is that the way it sounded was like, because I thought the whole defense was like, no, uh this isn't a gang, this is just a record label. And then for them to like confirm and reconfirm and confirm one more time that it was a gang, you know, I don't know, bro. Like I know a lot of people feel like that boy was ratting, bro.
See, this is where I almost have an issue with the messenger, because I think that this to me is Funk Master Flex's low key dig at Ti. He's had an issue with Ti for a long time, where he's
Mhm.
called Ti all kind of rats for years, right? From afar, right? But I think that what's crazy to me about it is this, though, right? So he basically is saying, listen, a lot of your favorite artists have cooperated with law, right? He says, don't let me call the names, basically, though. But he was basically saying, listen, these new rappers ain't doing 10 to 20 years for nobody. They not doing 5 years. So he's basically saying, listen, these days of cooperating or not cooperating, like Bobby Smurda, like Roddy Rebel, who was in Bobby's crew, Fetty Wap, who's taking his, and that's it, not cooperating, not giving up anybody. Boosie, um, Casanova, cat from New York as well,
Yep,
and
yep.
Thug, who apparently isn't, he's still doubling down on where he's at, regardless of how long it takes. Like Jim Jones once was like, it ain't no cooperating. He was like, when them people came after me, you know what I'm saying? I felt like, all right, we if I felt in my heart of hearts that we had enough to beat this, regardless of how long it takes, then I'm gonna go ahead and double down. But part of that is them wanting, when you cooperating, is getting more people, naming more names. And so he was like, no. So we stayed 10 toes down, and that was that. And what I'm wondering though, bro, is this. Is it really, bro? Is it really that just those days are truly over with? That the expectation is that all rappers are supposed to just fight the case, fight the pleas, unless it's a plea that's, something that gives you less, but you don't cooperate within the sense of dropping names, doing what are those
See,
days just over?
I don't think. the same premium. Like there are a few people. It, it's let's circle back to kind of the conversation about basketball, right? For me, scoring is entertaining, right? It's why you look at, like I said this last time, it's why you look at soccer. And a lot of people don't from the US don't really rock with soccer like that because it takes too long to score, right?
Right.
And then like this new basketball, people scoring 150 points, 140 points on a regular night, right? Without even going into overtime. It's still exciting because people are scoring, right?
Yep.
So the thing is that I I think a lot of consumers don't have the same premium on if this person is living the life because the lie is more entertaining sometimes than the truth. And so people just like the stories. They like being able to like that's why 6ix9ine was so it had nothing to do with his gang stuff. More so people was watching him to see if he gonna get caught up this time, right? Not and so then that translated to oh well, let me hear what his music is about. That was the connection. Now that now there's no connection anymore, right? So I'm just saying I don't even the people that are still holding on to those particular values are some of the older generation, but that's not even who the artists are even going at as consumers, which is why 6ix9ine still believes he can sell because that but his was different because there was a lot more of the antics that associated with the music versus he just had great music. Does that make sense?
Does, but here's my only this is my issue, right? My issue with that is that if you believe that taking pleas and cooperating with law enforcement, and if you believe that that's okay, right? Fine, right? Just that's just your belief. But to me, you can't rap. You could like you can say whatever you want to say, but I'm saying you can't rap about not snitching. You can't rap about somebody else being a rat. You
But
can't even.
unfortunately, you can though. This is why I understand what you're saying, but a lot of people know that 75% of these rappers don't live what they're talking about.
I see. Okay, I understand what you're saying, right? But I also think that there is a larger number or percentage of people who like these rappers because they do believe that that's what they live. I think that people like 21 Savage because they do believe that that's what he lives, right? I think that people like Young Thug because he raps that and that's what he does believe. I understand that you think that there are people who don't care, but I think that there are just as many people who are fanatical fans that truly believe that that's what they're about, and
Yeah,
that's why they like them.
but a lot of the rappers are rapping about things they did in the past, not necessarily stuff they're doing in the future.
No,
So
that's true. That is
so
true.
so
That's
what
very
I'm
true.
saying is you're telling the stories of where you came from. I don't have an issue with that because you're rapping your truth, so to speak.
But if your past is what's being questioned in court today, then that's where I'm saying. So you say like I get what you're saying that you're talking about your old life, where your old life is under trial now,
No,
right?
no,
And so
I
people
get
like
all
you
of that. I
because of
just
what you're rapping about your old life.
no, I do. I think we're saying the same thing. We just don't
Yeah,
agree on the number. Meaning
yeah,
that
yeah.
I don't think it's that large of a population that cares about if a rapper's because if we really listening to some of the lyrics and these dudes is talking about they killing people and doing this, that, and the other. I mean, it's the same conversation as why old girl is trying to use lyrics against people in court from Georgia, right?
Yep.
And so that's what I mean. I just feel like at the end of the day, people care about there's too much music to be that invested in wondering if the person is believing what they rapping about. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I do. I'm just saying that I just my heart of hearts believe, bro, that people like these dudes because they like their story.
Hmm.
And part of their story is what they're rapping about. So it's like I think that a lot of people it's why I think that it's why I think people can can listen to someone and inspire to do some of the things that they do. Like when they say, oh yeah, you know what? It's like while somebody might hype you on up, you could be listening to somebody in your headphones in your layup line, right? But if you also are a complete goofy, you could be listening to that person when you loading up a clip. It's like, yeah, that's inspiring you. And so I think that part of that, the lyrics though, man, do inspire you but you're inspired by that person's past. But when that's on trial, then I think that that's different. I just think that if those are the new rules, because you got to think that those rules, that the unwritten rules were put out there years ago, and I just wonder now, not that the fact that Tekashi is here, and this is even a question, and that now that Gunna is on stand, right, clearly saying that, like everything that you're saying. And he's saying I didn't rat. Like you're trying to make this a matter of technicality now. And I just wonder, like, is it that the rules are just different? Like that those rules are outdated, or maybe, right, that it's like it's the rule of no rat, no snitching, no please, no nothing. If that's a golden era thing, that's just tapering off to where these new dudes, it ain't that.
It ain't. And the thing is too, I'm not from the street, so that stuff that stuff wouldn't bother me anyway, because I look at music as entertainment, and I'm coming from an R&B standpoint to begin with. You know what I'm saying? So I understand from a rapper's perspective, and for anybody that that's deep in it, it would be like telling somebody who was a basketball purist that they should embrace the and one style of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like that, but some people get the same level of entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I get it. It's just different. Times are different. And as the sound of hip hop change, you know what I'm saying? The faces change, the rules, get a little different though, bro. So
yeah.
Well,
anyway, bro, what you got for the rest of the week?
Man, for the rest of this week, dude, I've been trying to catch up on writing. Dude. I have like 6 songs that I'm writing in my head, and I got just lines here and there that I'm trying to piece together. And so it's been pretty dope. So I'm trying to do that for the rest of the week. I'm hoping that by Friday I can actually go through and start doing some drafts of some recordings. So yeah, that's my plan, though, man. What about you?
Same thing over here, other than hanging out with the grandbaby. It's definitely writing songs in my head. Like I've wrote down like 5 different song ideas, been listening to a lot of tracks, stuff that you've sent me, and just trying to get back in it, man. I coming off that success of the Christmas song, bro. It's just like I was like, man, I want that feeling again, because that was great, bro. Just the response to that. Yeah. And I also been looking into cameras too, bro.
My thing is always the mental part of it. Like I want to get to where I'm writing freely, but at the same time, it's like you always are on that trying to top what you just previously did, and that's always the tough part, though, man. Is saying like you're trying to write the greatest song of all time every single time.
Hey, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Let's get on out of here, bro. We appreciate y'all for joining us, and then for those that's gonna watch the playback, we appreciate you too. And thank you for rocking with your boys.
Peace.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?